Well, long time no see, Hot Wheels tuned collectors. I didn't think they were going to make any tuned cars in 2024. At least when I checked back in the end of last year after the Porsche tuned car I did. But pleasantly, I just stumbled upon it through, just a social feed or something like that. And it turns out we have this Mazda RX-3 here. And it turns out this is actually a real car. So, Mad Mike Motorsports, this gentleman is this real car in real life. So that's what's going on here. So this is, I guess, car number 156 of the 2024 releases. HWJ Imports. It's not a tuned line apparently, but the 7 import ones. Whatever, all that standard stuff in the back. So let's take a look here. Let me get a different angle of light and see what I'm doing. Well, I mean, the thing has black wheels, as you can... Well, you know what? Maybe we should compare it to the photographs, right? These are two or three I could find that were actually clear. So you do have the big spoiler, although it's not colored. The orange is part of the chrome base. 4 lights, the rotary badge or whatever in the middle. And then you can see these big black fender flares, and it's running some sort of steel wheels, it looks like, in black. Or maybe they're alloys that just look like steels, I'm not sure. The photo looks quite like a dark color. I don't know, but I would have to guess maybe it is this color in real life. Because looking at this image, it looks a little brighter in that one. So, I don't know. We'll get to those wheels later and see if they fit. Okay, back to this. So yeah, I think these wheels, I guess, work pretty well. I guess you could just take a black Sharpie and just make that black in the middle and call it a day. But I already bought those wheels online, so I'm gonna try to see if they fit on this thing. So the tampo printing is nice, as one would expect from my mainline Hot Wheels. That's not gonna bubble, well, hopefully not bubble off unless the whole base paint goes bad. They're not decals, they're not stickers. That's what I like about tampos. This side here, the window is closed off. It does have this little rectangle that I do see on the thing. The real car, I guess, it's chrome, this whole surround, but I'm not going to bother painting that stuff. This little reflector is raised, painted. The door handle here has a little finger recess. And then this one, that's just smooth, I think. It's just printed on. I almost feel like that's really the wrong color. It should be orange, but I guess they decided since it's an orange body, you wouldn't see it. Let's check the legibility of these. It says Mazda. I can't really... Oh, wow, you can read Toyo there. And some Japanese text. K&N filters. So all that's real licensing, it looks like. The Mad Mike logo there. Alright, let me back out again. Now we have a Trouble license plate. So that looks pretty nice. And it's a Japanese plate, it looks like. Maybe. Yeah, I guess so. And then, yeah, just... Well, what's going on here? These are actually... Wait, I can't... It's so shiny. I thought for a moment these were the clear plastic of the windscreen, but... No, No, right there, I think it looks like it's all chrome. So, that would have been cool, but unexpected for Hot Wheels to have separate headlights so small. The grill, would have been nice if they put a texture in there. I think they could have easily put a texture in there, but for some reason they just made it flat. So that's unfortunate, but they did get the triangle logo. You could dip some red in there, I guess, with some paint. Right, so yeah, naturally this should be orange, but I'm not going to paint it. I'll never color match that perfectly. Yeah, it is kind of gappy, I guess, but it's a kid's toy, so it has to be. And then this sill again should also be color matched, but it's not. The reason I guess why they made this chrome is because the bumpers are chrome on the real thing. Same with the grill surround. So I guess it's logical. I'm looking at the tailpipe. I'm not sure if the thing actually has a rectangular tailpipe like this. It looks like it might be more of a crushed oval or something. Well, anyways. And the complexity of the taillights is kind of showing through here. Unfortunately, these recesses are not very deep. I wish Hot Wheels would care more about customizers. There's so many Hot Wheels channels, just about customizing Hot Wheels. It'd be nice if they paid attention to that, and easily they could have made these recesses deeper with no effect to the cost of the product, or probably even the difficulty of making it. If these are deeper, you could just add some red paint in there easily, or you could add orange here easily. But they're so shallow, I'm not sure if I'll be able to even do that. I'm not sure if I would even try. So that's too bad. Hopefully in the future they'll have one where they actually just print on the taillights. Okay, this is a color matched wing on the photograph I see, and very interesting. There's actually a roll cage in here. I would have to assume the real one does. So I've just never seen a 4 vertical bar roll cage in the back, so that's quite interesting. And this side, oh, it's also, a lot of these tuned ones have an open window, but this does not. Okay, some really tall seats it looks like. Yeah. Probably a pizza pan. Let's get a flashlight. Yeah, pizza pan, steering wheel. Center console looks pretty good. A little bit of a pretty thin stick shift there. And maybe some texture on the bottom of the seat. Anyways, it's pretty good for Hot Wheels, the interior of this thing. There's no post going through this casting either. No like vertical metal post, which is nice to see. So all in all, I guess it's okay. Here's some details around the rear window there on the real car. But again, they're just so shallow that I guess you could add some black paint to that. But really, I just want to see if these wheels work. So I'm gonna first have to clip these off. I'm basically trying to open this up so I could cut the axle off. I'm not gonna obviously reuse these wheels. So these are just some cheap clippers. You know, now that I'm looking at it, I think this fender flare is part of the interior piece. It's literally a separate piece. So that's actually pretty smart engineering, I think. Because the color separate, A, they don't have to paint the fender flare, and that might lead to some errors, overrun paint or whatever. But B, I mean, real fender flares are probably a similar type of plastic. So that's actually pretty cool. So the wheels that we're going to see if we're going to put on this are coming from AliExpress, and they're listed as Puff, P-U-F-F, and they seem to have a lot of cool wheels actually. So now I need some stronger clippers. I'm going to close my eyes, cut that off, close my eyes again. There, now I can get these out of here. Alright, get that garbage out. Alright, so let's look at these wheels here. They came in an envelope, and got this card. I guess that's the Puff logo. 45, maybe they have 45 variations of colors / moldings. And there's Puff Studio 164. It says 7.5 millimeter. I don't know if that's the tire or the wheel, so I shall have to get my calipers in a moment. Hold on. And then we have 2 axles, but no axle ends. But that's fine because there's no hole. So these are an upgrade already to regular Hot Wheels wheels because they don't have that silly axle end sticking around. Now, diameter wise, .7. So the wheels are supposed to be 7.5 millimeters. But this is not very helpful, you know? You have to know how big the tire is to see if it'll fit inside the tire opening, right? I don't know why they're not I'm going to be mean. That's just stupid. I mean, you could write 7.5 / 8.7 or whatever it was, right? But it's definitely not 7.5 millimeters that's important. It's the size of the tire that's important. Yeah, it's 8.7. They should really list both because it is possible you might want to take a different tire and put it on here. But yeah, anyways, let's see. Where's that stock wheel? Let's see how big these are. Oh boy, so these are 9.1. Well, it's not a massive jump, 9.2 maybe. Ideally, I wish these were 10 millimeters because it would fill in the gap more. See, there's so much play, in the fender, unlike the photograph of the car where the tire is filling in this whole area more. Anyways, I'm gonna have to get some poster putty to mount these. I decided I'm not even gonna use these wheels. They're just too small, so I'm gonna save them for a different car. Maybe something that's a little more realistic. But I figured I'll just at least show you the rest of this. So you actually do have a tire tread, like a modern-looking tire tread there. And amazingly, these things are passing air between the spokes, so that's really cool. These are 3D printed wheels. I can see the support structure remains, and the hole is actually kind of large, so you'd want to actually use crazy glue to mount that. You see how loose it is, but I'm gonna try to just get one here through this axle hole and see what it looks like stock. Oh, never mind. See, Hot Wheels has a 0.7 millimeter axle. Oh, you can get it through, never mind. I don't want to glue these into the axle because I'm not going to use them on this car. I don't know, so, but I do want to show you. Hold on here. Alright, so I think, there we go. I just pushed it against the table. So that axle is actually a bit wide. It's too wide for this particular casting. But it's better this wider, I think, than short, because you can always cut off the thing. Alright, so that's what it looks like there. So it's definitely wide. You could take the same strong clippers and have it. But you see, they're so small in diameter. You really wouldn't want to use the axle. I think it just looks way too gappy. So I would probably recommend going with poster putty. Hold on, now I gotta get pliers to get this axle out. So I use this Potafix Pro stuff. I'm just gonna poster putty 2 of these on one side, just to show what it could look like if you want to really get these things. But I think I already have a better solution. But just let me finish this product off. So you could get camber going. You can maybe steer that front wheel. And there's not so bad actually if you slam it up against the body, at the bottom of the fender that is. Granted, I have too much putty on this one. So yeah, I guess it's alright. But I commend them for making a well done wheel. I mean, you could look at the lug nut details and stuff, the openings themselves. So it's a very well detailed 3D print. They're using a good printer, and then it's nice that it has tires that I think are kind of rubbery. They're not 3D printed wheat tires, I don't think. But yeah, again, for me, looking at that photo of the real car, the tires just are much bigger than this. So these are just some black Hot Wheels wheels I had a grab bag of, and these are the Real Rider slick tires. And now these things, just stock from Hot Wheels, these are 9.4 millimeters, so that's better, right? It's bigger. So now I'm just going to use poster putty again. And it's just going to fill in the wheel wells, more like the photograph. So I will say the puff wheels there, they're pretty cheap. I think they're like $5 with shipping included. So, but I also think you can buy these Hot Wheels things for even less than that. So for this, if you're gonna buy this exact, tuned RX-3, and you want it to actually look like Mad Mike's car, just get these things instead. It's much better looking, right? And then this little thing, or what? Let me put this little one back on. I'll do a little comparison there. Too much putty. Yeah, so it's not it's not a major difference, but it is like half a millimeter or something, and I can see it. You know, I can see that this is a bigger wheel, and this wheel is also glossier. This glossy plastic, whereas this is painted a matte black. But I'm looking at the image back there, and it has a glossy black wheel. So again, I think the Hot Wheels is actually better. I still think these are great wheels. I'm just gonna put them on a different car someday. So just not for today. Alright, we're gonna steer this thing that direction. So yeah, poster putty is great. I don't think it strips paint. I don't think it ever hardens. It's a pretty inert, like moldable plastic, gummy plastic it seems. So, I mean, it's meant to hold things on a wall, like posters. So, you don't want to be marking up your walls. So, I guess it's a well-engineered material. So, I guess I can compare it to the Aoshima Grachan RX-3 with the Liberty Walk kit on it. Look at the paint bubbling on this. So this is why I gotta really stop collecting premium die-casts. See, Hot Wheels I think lasts a long time because I have a suspicion Mattel powder coats their cars. So it's literally melting like an acrylic powder onto it or something like that. But I'm gonna guess Aoshima, maybe they're using too thin of a layer, or they might be using a more traditional kind of paint, like with a spray gun. But anyways, this looks just horrible. This has plastic BNDS wheels on it. Yeah, or maybe not. I don't know, because there's brakes in here. So I can't remember. You'll have to look up RX-3. But wow, that rash is horrible. Okay, so I do have some Chorokyus, though, that made some RX-3s. And you can see the details is just much better because it's a plastic body. If you're new to collecting little miniature cars, I think you should be asking for plastic bodies because you can get more details in here. Look, so it's got, you know, all this ribbing. Look how well detailed the taillights are, right? Granted, Chorokyu has a stupid coin holder thing that's annoying, but that's their tradition. These are just plastic wheels, but not bad. And they don't have the axle sticking out like a Hot Wheels does. So this has a grill texture unlike Hot Wheels. You know, it's just a better representation of an RX-3 in general. So that's the green one. This yellow one has some printing, tax stamps or something. And it's got some Watanabe wheels. Those are all stock wheels from Chorokyu. These are the stock, most popular Chorokyu wheels, just 5 spokes. They're all the same casting, just different paint apps, right? So, but it's simply a superior material to make things out of. That's why almost all model kits are made of plastic. They're not made of metal usually. So anyways, there you go. I guess we'll get that eyesore out of here. So looking at the deformation, it's not too... well, it's definitely more goofy looking than Chorokyu, with the cabin being so tall and all that. It's a little bit longer as well. Yeah. Let's get some Hot Wheels out. Alright, well here's that Porsche I was talking about. This I've 3D printed my own wheels. I also 3D printed my own wheels for the Fast and Furious Supra. And then here's the Volkswagen. I forget, I don't know where these wheels came from. I think they came from a UCC coffee car. They don't even have air passing between the spokes, but for this Tooned thing, I think it works alright. See, what I like about this one, though, just as a side tangent, you see how they designed the tail lights, how they're sticking up? That makes it really easy to paint, right? So either sticking up a lot or recessing a lot really makes customization a lot easier. But I don't think I can do it on this RX-3. They're just too shallow. Alright, so we're going to just leave it at that today. These guys here. So these all look like the same cartoon family, right? Very tall cockpits. And yeah, I guess that's the main thing that makes these things the way they look. But it's interesting how they did choose to do those Liberty Walk fender flares again, being the black interior, whereas the Volkswagen here, yeah, that's fender flares, but they're just part of the casting. So I think that's really smart what they did. And it would make sense if they do that on other Liberty Walk things. Let's get these out of here. Today we're going to have a Bandai Luke Skywalker posing with this thing. Okay, well, anyways, if you have some extra reel riders sitting around, the Steely reel riders with the small diameter tires, they are perfect for this. I mean, looking back at that image back there, really focus on it, you can see it has glossy black wheels, right? So, and they fill in the fender flares quite a bit, so this is a doable, pretty easy thing. You just gotta get some clippers and some poster putty. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next tuned video.